Welcome back to the carnival. I'm not sure how much we have left to do here. Let me just give this a once over. See if I feel like I forgot anything. I think I got everything though. You have anything new to say now that we've been in? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Oh, God. I mixed up the side show and the main show. So we went in the... Right? Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing we were going to do. Alright. The clown crosses his arms and grunts when you approach. Ticket, please. Ticket for what? Barnaby Bob's Stunt Spectacular. Here's my ticket. Okay. Go on in. Show'll start soon. He enters the stage area. Cool. This is the same muscular clown that was guarding the entrance to the stage area earlier. Doesn't look like he's going to let you backstage. Alright. I guess I can just sit anywhere. Oh boy. You take a seat, and a smattering of other patrons appear and sit down as well. After a minute or two, there's a crash of cymbals and a clown runs in from the backstage curtain and jumps onto the stage. In contrast to the other clown's colorful clothing, his is relatively simple. Black wool trousers and a bright crimson shirt under a pale tan leather jacket with a fringe on the sleeves and a red heart painted on the shoulder. I could use a little more punctuation. His face paint is plain white without any colored accents, contrasting his curled black mustache and thin goatee. A snappy silk top hat with a rakish tilt tops off his outfit. He doffs his hat and bows with a deep theatrical flourish, and the small audience claps politely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and welcome one and all to Barnaby Bob's perfectly normal traveling circus sideshow. I hope you've been enjoying the attractions and distractions of our little traveling carnival. And now it's time for our star performance, the main attraction. Ladies and gents, put your hands together for... A loud drum roll starts as he gestures at the curtain. Then the cymbals crash again. The clown puts his hat back on with a chuckle. Me, Barnaby Bob. Much obliged, much obliged. You're far too kind. Why, I haven't even shown you anything yet. With a laugh, he flips a large Bowie knife into the air. You didn't even see where he pulled it from. The knife glitters as it spins. He catches it and flips it into the air again, this time catching and balancing it on its point, on the tip of one finger. He holds that pose very still for a moment, then jerks his hand out of the way. The knife thunks into the wood of the stage floor, deep enough that he has to give it a jerk from side to side before he can yank the blade free. He winks broadly at the audience. Wouldn't be any fun if they weren't sharp, would it, ladies and gents? Excuse me, I still have the clown lung. He pulls 2 more knives from his jacket and begins a flashy and elaborate knife juggling act. 3 spinning blades somehow turn into 4, and then his hat is added into the mix, floating lightly through the cascade of knives without a single scratch. He finishes the routine by catching 2 of the knives in each hand and allowing his hat to fall nearly to the ground, before catching it on the tip of his boot and kicking it back into the air and onto the top of his head. Ah, now there's some applause I believe I've earned. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it took a lot of hats to get where I am today. He chuckles as he adjusts his hat back onto its He chuckles as he adjusts his hat back to its original rakish tilt. Now for the grand finale. Really? You've only just started. For this, I'll need a volunteer from the audience. A few hands go up. Barnaby Bob ignores them and looks directly at you. How about you, sir? Well, Now, don't be shy. We're all friends here, right? No. Come on up to the stage. You hesitate, but Barnaby Bob starts up a round of applause and the audience joins in. Reluctantly, you climb up onto the stage. By the way, I hate that. Anybody who... crowd work is already a pretty poor prospect in most cases, and if you force somebody to participate, you're a scumbag. There we go. Not so bad, is it? Your name, please. Herb Wales. It's a real pleasure to finally meet you, Herb Sneaky Wales. Stand right here, won't you? Stand there. A couple of clowns haul a large wooden panel, about 7 feet tall and 4 wide, up onto the stage. They stand it up vertically behind you and stay there, holding it steady. It has 2 holes in it slightly above waist level, and a lot of knife marks. Press your back flat up against the wood, please, and put your hands through the holes. You do so. The holes are just a fraction too high, so it's not very comfortable. Then one of the clowns pulls your arms back tighter and ties them together with rough hemp, so it becomes much more uncomfortable, for a variety of reasons. Don't worry, this is just to make sure you don't make any sudden and unexpected movements. We wouldn't want that, would we? Fret not, son, everything's under control. He steps up close to you and adjusts your collar, brushes a little dust off your shoulders. My control. You know, Herb, we get a sharp customer through here from time to time, but my, you're the sharpest I've seen yet. However, I'd bet a shiny silver dollar I've got something up my sleeve that's even sharper. His pupils narrow to vertical slits as he grins at you, revealing rows of pointed yellow shark teeth. As he turns away, you can see that the heart on the shoulder of his leather jacket is drawn with an arrow through it, and the word Mom. It doesn't look painted on. Free your hands. Sorry about that. You struggle a little, but your arms are too tightly bound. The rough hemp rope digs into your wrists. Barnaby Bob strolls to the other end of the stage and turns to face you. Now, don't you worry. This will all be over soon. Just don't move. He has a knife in his hand again and gives it a few twirls and flips. Light reflected from the blade glitters in his eyes. Then, without warning, he hurls it at you. Thunk. The knife hits the wood before you can even blink, a hair's breadth from your left ear. Yeah, I'll be a cool guy. I'll stare him down. Barnaby Bob grins at you as the crowd applauds. Another knife appears in one hand and an apple in the other. He tosses the apple to one of the stagehands, who carefully balances it on top of your head. Time for the old William Tell routine. Bit of a cliche, perhaps, but there's a reason it's a classic, eh, ladies and gentlemen? Take a deep breath. The crowd watches with rapt attention as he flourishes the knife, spinning it and flipping it behind his back. Then, faster than you can register, thwack. Cold apple juice dribbles into your hair and down the back of your neck. 2 for 2. What do you say, Herb? Shall we go for one more? Stare him down. Barnaby Bob pulls out another knife and gives a quick stropping across the pale sleeve of his jacket, then whips a colorful spotted handkerchief from his pocket and blindfolds himself. This time his smile is much colder. I advise you to watch closely, Herb Wales, since you're the only one of us who can. Watch closely. The crowd laughs, but you don't really hear it. The knife spins in his hand. This time, either because of the adrenaline or because he's actually moving slower, you can see the motion of his arm as he throws it. He twists his wrist in an odd way that you don't think he did before. The knife is flying at you. The knife is flying directly at your eye. At your right eye. Some tells me neither of these are going to go well, so they both must go well, so I guess I just won't move. The knife, incredibly, swerves at the last possible moment. Thunk. You can feel the wood shake from the force as it stabs into the board. The metal is cold against your right cheek. The audience erupts into cheers as Barnaby Bob removes his blindfold and pumps a fist triumphantly. One of the stagehand clowns unties your wrists and helps you get your arms out of the holes. Bob takes your hand and raises it into the air victoriously. Well now, ain't he a good sport, folks? And as brave a target as I've ever had. Take a bow, Herb Wales. I don't want to take a bow, but the game's gonna make me. You bow to the cheering crowd, carefully keeping your eyes on Barnaby Bob. He bows as well, removing his hat with an elaborate flourish, and then he takes a slip of paper out of it. And as a token of appreciation, I'd like to give you, our star volunteer, a gift. A year's supply of dynamite. Use it in good health. As he hands you the coupon, the clown leans in close to your ear and whispers, "This was the only warning you'll get, boy." You get an item. Coupon for a year's supply of dynamite. Barnaby Bob waves and blows kisses to the crowd as you climb down from the stage, and then he disappears through the backstage curtain. The audience gradually disappears. Well, that tears it, doesn't it? It looks like these aren't regular carnies dressed as clowns you're dealing with here. These are definitely full-blown evil demon clowns like the ones from the old stories. And they've just given you orders to back the hell off from their operation. So, now what? Phew. Clearly I should try and go backstage, right? The place I'm not supposed to be? This little trailer is probably Barnaby Bob's office. The wagon is old but well maintained. A brass plaque on the door reads, "Barnaby Bob, confirming your suspicions." Well, I guess we'll decide what to do about that next time.